Hello, bedtime thinkers, and welcome to the Bedtime Discoveries. Tonight, I invite you to rest, to slow your breathing, and to listen softly as we explore another quiet wonder of science. This evening, our journey will take us deep within to a system that protects us in silence. It works without us noticing, without demanding attention, yet it shields us every single day. Yes, we will discover how the immune system fights in silence. Before we begin, I would love to know where in the world you're listening from and what time it is as you're settling down to rest tonight. Feel free to share it in the comments. And if this gentle exploration brings you comfort, please consider pressing the like button and subscribing to the Bedtime Discoveries, so that you can join me for many more calming journeys into science. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your body as a vast and peaceful kingdom, a land of rivers and valleys, mountains and meadows, every cell like a citizen, quietly performing its work. And surrounding this kingdom, unseen by most, there are guardians, gentle, tireless, silent. They are your immune system. The immune system is not a single thing. It is a symphony, a collaboration of countless players, all moving together in quiet harmony. It does not shout for recognition. It does not demand applause. Instead, it watches, waits, and acts when needed, all while you live your daily life, mostly unaware of its presence. Have you ever noticed how often you go through days, weeks, even months, without falling ill? You breathe the air around you, filled with invisible particles, dust, and sometimes tiny invaders. You touch surfaces, exchange handshakes, prepare meals, and yet, most of the time, you remain well. That is because, without you realizing it, your guardians are always awake, always at work. Think of them like a team of quiet night watchmen. They patrol, they stand at the borders, they sense when something is wrong, and yet they rarely disturb your peace. When they succeed, you feel nothing at all. You simply live on, free of illness, free of harm. Science tells us that the immune system is astonishingly complex. It is made up of many different kinds of cells, tissues, and signals. But to imagine it in a soothing way, picture it as a gentle circle of guardians surrounding you. Some stand on the outer walls, shielding you from anything trying to come inside. Some wander quietly through your inner landscapes, checking on each village, each pathway, each cell. And some sit in high towers, keeping memory, remembering every intruder they have ever seen. This silent army is not loud, not chaotic, but deeply organized. It is like a library of knowledge, combined with a garden of protectors. Each part has a role, and each role keeps you safe. Let us pause here and take a slow breath in and out. As you breathe, remember that even in this very moment, your immune system is alive, awake, and silently at work. It does not rest, even as you rest. Now, imagine for a moment a child playing outside, running through the grass, rolling in the soil, climbing trees. That child will touch the earth, perhaps scrape a knee, or breathe in a gust of wind filled with pollen and dust. And yet, more often than not, the child remains healthy. That is the silent guardians at work, shielding the body from harm, patching small wounds, recognizing what belongs and what is not. It is a protection so constant that we rarely stop to appreciate it. And perhaps this is what makes it truly beautiful. The best guardians are the ones who work quietly, who do not need to be seen, like a kind friend who checks in on you without asking for thanks. The immune system is this friend, always present, always giving, without demanding recognition. Let's move deeper into the stillness of these guardians. The immune system does not fight for noise or spectacle. It fights in whispers. It uses signals smaller than the eye can see, responses faster than the mind can follow. Its goal is always the same: to keep you safe so that you may live your life in peace. As you listen now, think about the countless moments your body has been protected without your awareness. Each handshake, each breath, each bite of food, all possible because your immune system was working in silence. And so, in this first part of our journey, let us honor these silent guardians. The immune system, unseen yet faithful, protecting your kingdom, always watching, always working, always there. Now, let us wander a little deeper into this idea of guardianship. The immune system is not just a wall, not just a shield, but a living, breathing community. Each cell, each molecule has its role, and together they form a harmony so quiet, so constant, that we forget it is even happening. Imagine walking through a forest at night. The air cool, the trees tall, the path soft under your feet. Around you, the forest seems still. But if you listen carefully, you realize that life is everywhere. An owl moves in the branches, insects hum beneath the leaves, and the roots carry silent signals through the soil. The immune system is like this forest, silent at first glance, but alive with quiet, hidden work. Every day, you inhale thousands of particles. Some are harmless, like tiny bits of dust or pollen. Others may carry bacteria or viruses. Yet most of the time, you never notice them because your guardians intercept them before they can cause harm. Some are caught at the very edge, in the nose or throat. Others are met inside, quietly dissolved, dismantled, or carried away by cells that specialize in cleaning and clearing. These cells are so tiny, so patient, you would never notice them on your own. And yet, without them, even the simplest exposure could become dangerous. They're like caretakers, sweeping and scrubbing, making sure your inner world stays calm and safe. Perhaps you remember a time when you felt a little scratch in your throat, a tickle, a hint that maybe something was trying to take hold, and then a day later, nothing more. That was your immune system intervening before you even knew a battle had begun. There is something comforting in this thought, that your body has defenders who do not wait for your command. They do not need your conscious mind to tell them what to do. They simply act with loyalty, with precision, with quiet strength. If we could shrink ourselves down small enough to travel inside the bloodstream, we would see these guardians moving constantly. Some drift like gentle rivers, carried along until they're needed. Others patrol actively, sensing the presence of something unfamiliar. And when they find it, they surround it, working together in silence. No shouting, no chaos, just the steady work of keeping peace. It is almost like a ballet, a dance performed in the hidden spaces of the body, each cell moving into place, each signal guiding the next, all in rhythm with life itself. A dance you never see, but one that sustains you every single moment. Let us pause again, breathe slowly in and gently out. As you do, remember that your guardians are breathing with you, moving with you, flowing through your veins like quiet rivers of protection. The immune system is also incredibly wise. It knows the difference between what belongs to you and what is not. Your own cells are recognized as self, cherished, protected, left in peace, while invaders are seen as other, carefully marked and removed. This wisdom, this distinction, is one of the great secrets of life. And though sometimes it may falter, most of the time it is astonishingly precise. Think of how much must happen in your body each day. Billions of cells dividing, repairing, working, and at the same time, billions of particles entering through food, water, and air. And yet, you are here, whole, functioning at peace, because the silent guardians never stop their work. If they could speak, perhaps they would say, "Do not worry, rest, live, dream, for we are watching over you." And that is the essence of their silence. They do not cry out when they fight. They do not seek your attention. They let you live freely while they handle the hidden battles on your behalf. It is a kind of love written into biology, a devotion so deep that it never asks for recognition. And perhaps tonight, as you drift into stillness, you can feel grateful for this quiet company within you. Now, as we linger with this image of guardianship, let us step even further into the quiet world of the immune system. It is not only a shield, not only a set of patrols, but also a memory, a teacher, and a companion. It has been with you since the moment you entered the world, and it will remain with you faithfully until your final breath. From the very beginning, as an infant, your body was already surrounded by these protectors. In fact, you carried some of your mother's immunity with you, passed gently through placenta and later through milk. Those first borrowed defenses gave you a head start until your own guardians grew stronger, wiser, and more experienced. Isn't it comforting to think that you were never truly unprotected, not even in your first fragile days? Even then, the silent guardians worked quietly around you, ensuring that your earliest breaths were safe, your earliest steps possible. And as you grew, these protectors grew with you. Each new encounter with the world, each little cold, each scraped knee, each day spent exploring outside was a lesson for them. They learned, adapted, remembered, adding to their library of wisdom, so that today, as you sit listening, your immune system holds a lifetime of silent experience, always ready to protect you again. If you imagine your body as a grand library, the immune system is its librarian, always cataloging, always recording, filing away the memory of each intruder it has ever seen. Not loudly, not with great ceremony, but with steady patience. It keeps track of what belongs and what is not, and in doing so, it protects the harmony of the whole. Let's take another slow breath together, in and gently out as we breathe. Imagine those guardians moving quietly, their presence surrounding you like a soft blanket of safety. Sometimes their work is visible, perhaps in the swelling of a small cut or the warmth around a healing wound. But even this is not noise but communication, a way for the guardians to gather, to protect, to heal. At other times, their work is invisible, silent victories you never feel. A virus intercepted before it ever reached your cells. A bacterium dissolved before it ever found a foothold. These victories pass without your awareness, like raindrops falling quietly into the soil, nourishing without notice. And yet, though they are silent, they are not mindless. Every action is guided by wisdom, honed through millions of years of life evolving on this planet. Your immune system carries that wisdom within you, as if the memory of the earth itself is flowing in your blood. Think of how extraordinary that is. Your guardians are not separate from you. They are you, born of your own cells, shaped by your own body, and yet acting with a will of their own, a part of you that is always awake, even as you sleep. It is almost poetic that in your quietest moments, when your mind drifts into dreams, when your body rests in stillness, your guardians are at their busiest, repairing, restoring, rebuilding, preparing you for the day that will follow. Perhaps you have known times when your immune system faltered, a fever, an illness, a period of weakness. Even then, the guardians were not failing you. They were working tirelessly, sometimes with great effort, to bring you back to balance. Even sickness is often a sign of their struggle, their dedication, their determination to restore your peace. And so, as we close this first keynote, let us reflect once more. The immune system is a circle of guardians. Silent, tireless, loyal. They do not seek thanks. They do not make themselves known. They simply exist as an invisible blanket of protection, day and night without pause. Take comfort in their presence. Know that even now, they're watching over you, working for you, keeping you safe. They are your silent guardians, and they will never leave you. Imagine, if you will, a gentle fortress surrounding your entire being, a barrier that is not made of stone nor of metal, but of living tissue, flexible, responsive, and endlessly protective. This is your first line of defense, your skin, your mucous membranes, and all the quiet boundaries that separate you from the outside world. The immune system does not begin deep inside. It begins here at the edges, the places where the outside world meets your inner self. Your skin, for instance, is often taken for granted. We see it in the mirror. We notice its color, its texture, its small imperfections. But what we rarely stop to consider is that it is also your shield. Every second of your life, it stands between you and the countless microorganisms in your environment. Just pause for a moment and imagine the surfaces you touch each day. The doorknob at the entrance of your home, the screen of your phone, the handle of a grocery cart, or the back of a chair. Each of these holds invisible passengers, bacteria, fungi, perhaps even viruses. And yet, as you move through your day, you are rarely harmed by them. Why? Because your skin stands firm, quietly protecting you, silently saying, "This far and no further." If you could shrink down and look closely, you would see that your skin is not just a flat surface. It is a layered structure with an outermost shield called the epidermis. Beneath it lies the dermis, filled with blood vessels, glands, and nerves. And beneath that, a cushion of fat and connective tissue. Together, these layers form not only a wall, but a living, responsive barrier, a fortress that can repair itself when scratched and renew itself when damaged. Think of a tiny cut you may have had on your hand. At first, you noticed a break, perhaps even a small bead of blood, but within hours, the wound began to close, a scab forming like a patch upon the wall. And within days, the skin had sealed again, almost as if nothing had ever happened. That was your body's first defense, quietly repairing itself, ensuring the shield remained unbroken. But the skin is only one part of this first line of defense. Inside your body, at every entry point, there are mucous membranes, soft tissues that line your nose, your mouth, your lungs, and even your digestive tract. They may seem fragile, delicate, and yet they are extraordinary guardians. In your nose, for example, tiny hairs called cilia move rhythmically, sweeping away dust and particles like gentle brooms. Meanwhile, mucus, that sticky substance we often take for granted, traps invaders before they can travel further inside. It may seem unremarkable, but this sticky shield saves you countless times each day. Think of the last time you sneezed. It may have felt sudden, perhaps even inconvenient, but in truth, it was your body's way of ejecting unwanted guests. A swift, powerful response from the first line of defense, saying firmly but silently, "Not here, not today." In the lungs, too, The mucous membranes play their role. When you inhale, the air is rarely pure. It carries dust, pollen, microbes, yet the membranes catch them, filter them, and protect the delicate tissue of your airways, allowing oxygen to flow freely while harmful intruders are pushed back. Even your stomach contributes to this first line of defense. The acid within it is strong enough to break down food, and just as effective at destroying many harmful microbes that might have traveled with it. What could have been a danger is neutralized in silence before it ever has the chance to cause harm. If we return to the image of the body as a kingdom, then this first line of defense is its outer wall, strong, constant, unyielding. The invaders may approach, may try to climb, may knock at the gate, but more often than not, they are turned away before they ever step inside. And yet, this wall is not lifeless, it is alive. It can feel, it can respond. It can call for help if needed. If a breach occurs, signals are sent inward, and the deeper guardians prepare themselves. This seamless communication ensures that the defense is never broken for long. Let us pause here and breathe deeply, in and out. As you breathe, imagine your skin, your nose, your lungs quietly filtering the world for you, allowing what you need and keeping out what you do not. This first line of defense is your constant companion. It does not sleep. It does not weaken in its devotion. It stands between you and the world, so you may live, dream, and rest in peace. As we continue, let us step even closer to the quiet magic of this first line of defense. For while the skin and mucous membranes are often seen as simple coverings, in truth they are marvels of living design. Consider for a moment the skin once more. If you were to look very closely, perhaps through a microscope, you see a landscape more detailed than any desert, mountain, or forest. Tiny ridges, valleys, and pores, each playing a role in this shield of life. The outermost layer, the epidermis, is made of tightly packed cells, like bricks in a wall. But these bricks are not dead stone. They are living, renewing, and interlocking with strength. Together, they form a surface so secure that most invaders cannot pass. But this wall is not left bare. It is covered with secret allies, the microbiome. All across your skin live trillions of friendly microbes, tiny organisms that live in harmony with you. They do not harm you. Instead, they protect you by taking up space, by competing with harmful bacteria, and by keeping balance. In a way, they're like villagers living upon the outer wall of the kingdom. Their presence alone keeps enemies away. This quiet partnership is one of nature's most beautiful truths. That protection is not always about fighting. Sometimes it is about harmony, about balance, about coexistence. Your skin, your mucous membranes, and your microbiome work together silently, keeping peace at the border. Let us move gently now to the eyes. Even these delicate organs have their guardians. Tears, for instance, are not only for emotion, they're also a protective wash, carrying enzymes that quietly dissolve bacteria. Each blink is like the wave of a gentle brush, sweeping away what should not remain. It is such a simple act, so frequent, that you do not even notice it, and yet it is defense in action. The mouth, too, is guarded. Saliva is more than moisture. It contains enzymes that break down harmful substances before they can travel further. Even chewing, that most ordinary of actions, helps grind food and expose it to protective chemicals. Every bite you take is accompanied by quiet guardianship. And deep within the nose and throat, tiny cilia move like grass swaying the wind. But this is no idle movement. It is purposeful, sweeping away dust, microbes, and debris, pushing them upward, outward, away from the delicate lungs. Each wave of their motion is like a soft chorus, singing silently, keeping you safe. Have you ever noticed when you catch a cold, your nose may run, your throat may produce phlegm? Though it feels inconvenient, even uncomfortable, this too is defense at work. Your body is producing more mucus, more sweeping action, more cleansing. It is the wall of the fortress strengthening, holding firm against those who try to push inside. Even your ears have guardians. Earwax, though often overlooked, is a quiet protector. It traps dust and microbes, keeping them from traveling inward, and it slowly moves outward, carrying with it what does not belong. A simple, silent act of defense, happening without your command. Pause with me here. Take a soft, steady breath in, and gently let it go. As you breathe, imagine all these small guardians, tears, saliva, mucus, earwax, skin, and the microbiome, working together in harmony. A network of quiet defenses, never resting, never tiring, always present. It is humbling, isn't it, to realize how many invisible steps are taken each moment, just so you may live in peace. How many defenses act, not in noise or drama, but in silence. The sneeze that clears your nose, the tears that wash your eyes, the sweat that cools and cleanses your skin. Each is part of the grand design, the first line of defense, the outer guardians of your kingdom. And though they are silent, they are not passive. They sense, they respond, they adjust. If the air is dry, your membranes produce more moisture. If the skin is cut, the cells rush to repair. If a threat grows stronger, signals are sent inward, summoning the deeper immune system. It is a system that listens to the world and answers with quiet wisdom. As you lie here now, perhaps you can feel a new sense of appreciation for your body's borders, the soft covering of your skin, the gentle moisture of your nose and mouth, the quiet sweep of cilia and the flow of tears. They are not simple. They are miracles of protection. This is your first line of defense, a wall that is alive, the barrier that breathes. And without it, life as you know it would be impossible. And now, let us linger a little longer with this quiet boundary of protection. For the first line of defense is more than walls and barriers. It is also wisdom, patience, and gentle resilience. Think for a moment of a castle at the edge of a forest. Its walls strong, its gates watchful, but its true strength lies not only in stone, but in the way it adapts. It has guards who know the land, who adjust their watch depending on the season, who learn from past encounters. Your first line of defense is just like that, responsive, intelligent, changing with the world around you. When the air grows cold and dry, for example, your nasal passages may become more vulnerable, and so the body works harder to produce mucus, to trap what does not belong. When the sun touches your skin, it not only warms you, but also prompts your cells to strengthen, to produce vitamin D, which supports the defenses within. Even sweating, that gentle sheen of moisture, is more than temperature control. It helps flush out salt and small particles, cleansing the surface of the skin. This adaptability is extraordinary. The first line of defense is not static. It listens, it learns, it responds. Every day, it adjusts quietly to the environment you are in so that you remain safe without even realizing it. Consider, too, the way the body responds to injury. A scrape on the knee, a small cut on the hand. The barrier has been breached, the wall has a crack. But almost instantly, platelets in the blood gather, forming a clot, sealing the wound. Soon after, new skin cells begin to grow, patching the breach, restoring the shield. It is as if the fortress wall repairs itself, faster and more cleverly than any structure built by human hands. And while that repair takes place, the deeper immune system stands ready, listening for any sign of intrusion, waiting to act if needed. The first line of defense does not stand alone. It is part of a greater whole, connected in harmony. Let us pause here for another breath together, in and slowly out. As you breathe, imagine your body's borders, always mending, always listening, always protecting. Stories from nature remind us of this balance. Think of a tree with its bark. At first glance, the bark seems lifeless, but it is essential, shielding the tree from insects, from weather, from harm. When the bark is damaged, sap may flow, sealing the wound, keeping the tree alive. Your skin is like that bark, alive, renewing, protecting silently. Or think of a clam, closing its shell when the tide brings uncertainty. Or a bird fluffing its feathers against the wind. All living beings have their own first defenses, their quiet boundaries with the world. And yours is among the most remarkable of all. What makes it even more remarkable is how unnoticed it is. Rarely do we thank our skin, our mucus, our tears, or saliva, and yet they are the guardians that allow us to walk through life without constant fear. This, perhaps, is the heart of the matter. The first line of defense is humble. It does not demand attention. It does not wait for gratitude. It simply works, silently, tirelessly, lovingly. And so, as we complete this keynote, let us honor with quiet appreciation your skin, your membranes, your secretions, your microbiome. Together they form a living wall, a gentle barrier, a fortress made not of stone, but of life itself. As you rest tonight, remember, you are never unprotected. Even as you dream, even as the world turns quietly outside, your first line of defense stands watch, a silent guardian at the edge of your being, keeping you safe so that you may rest in peace. Imagine, for a moment, that the walls of the kingdom have been touched, perhaps a small cut, a tiny breach, or a foreign particle slipping past the first layer of defense. It is here that the next guardians awaken. The innate response, the body's quiet, immediate reaction to anything that does not belong. Unlike the deeper, more specialized offenders, the innate response does not wait to learn, does not pause to study. It acts instantly, automatically, instinctively. It is the reflex of the immune system, the quick shield that rises without thought. Let us picture this response as the kingdom's night watchmen. They do not know every intruder by name, but they recognize danger when they see it. And without hesitation, they move in to protect. Among the most important of these watchmen are the phagocytes, cells whose name means eating cells. They roam the body like gentle cleaners, always searching, always ready. And when they encounter something foreign, a bacterium, a fragment of debris, even a dying cell, they surround it, embrace it, and dissolve it quietly, not with chaos, not with spectacle, but with silent efficiency. The most numerous of these are the neutrophils. Small, fast, tireless, they rush to the site of trouble within moments. Imagine them as quick-footed guards, sprinting to the breach, containing the problem before it can spread. And alongside them are the macrophages, larger, steadier, like wise elders of the defense. They do not rush, but they endure, patrolling continuously, devouring what does not belong, and cleaning the pathways of the body. If you close your eyes, you might imagine this as a quiet patrol at night. Tiny lanterns moving through a dark city, shining light into alleys, ensuring no intruder goes unnoticed. The streets remain calm, the citizens asleep, never knowing that protection is already underway. But the innate response is more than just phagocytes. It is also a system of natural killer cells, quiet, precise guardians who seek out cells that have been overtaken, cells that no longer serve the body's harmony. When they find them, they do not hesitate. They act with gentle precision, removing what is dangerous so that peace may return. There is a kind of poetry in this. These cells are not cruel, not chaotic. They are caretakers of balance, always ensuring that the body remains whole, that no intruder or damaged part is allowed to disrupt the harmony for long. Pause here with me. Take a long, gentle breath in and slowly let it out. As you do, picture these innate defenders flowing through you even now. They do not wait for your instruction. They act without your awareness. And it is because of them that your inner world remains steady, peaceful, and safe. Science often describes the innate immune system as nonspecific. It does not target particular enemies, but instead reacts to patterns, to shapes, to signals that whisper, "This does not belong." And yet, though it is nonspecific, it is astonishingly effective, because many invaders, no matter how varied, share certain telltale signs. And the innate guardians are trained by nature itself to recognize them at once. Think of it as a traveler in a forest. They may not know every creature by name, but they recognize the rustle of danger, the scent of trouble, the outline of something that does not belong. And so they act quickly, without needing to study or hesitate. The innate response is like this, a deep, ancient wisdom carried in your blood. It does not think, it does not analyze. It simply knows when something is wrong and moves gently but swiftly to set it right. Sometimes you may feel its presence as warmth, as swelling, as the first sign of inflammation, but often you feel nothing at all because the battle was ended before it even reached your awareness. And so, in this first part of our exploration of the innate response, let us honor these fast-acting guardians, the neutrophils, the macrophages, the natural killer cells, the watchmen who roam silently, who act without recognition, who keep your kingdom safe in its quietest hours. When we think of defense, we often imagine noise, chaos, and alarm, but the innate immune response is nothing like that. It is subtle, calm, and deeply coordinated, like a river adjusting its flow around a stone, or the wind reshaping itself around a mountain. Let us picture this together. A small breach has been noticed. The watchmen of your body have responded, but they do not act alone. They whisper to one another, through signals, chemical messages that travel like soft lanterns through the night, alerting other cells, guiding them, telling them where to go and when to act. These whispers are carried by cytokines, the tiny messengers of the immune system. They do not shout, they do not alarm. They gently pass information from one guardian to another. Imagine fireflies in the dark, blinking softly, guiding one another's path, forming a constellation of light in the silence of night. That is how cytokines move, quietly, purposefully, keeping the defenders connected. The result of this communication is not frenzy, but orchestration. One cell attracts another. One signal prompts a response. One messenger ensures the defenders arrive exactly where they are needed and not beyond. It is a dance, calm, deliberate, and yet so effective that even the tiniest threat can be recognized and addressed before it grows. Another part of this innate wisdom is the complement system, a collection of proteins that float silently in your blood and tissues, waiting, listening. They do not act until needed, but when the call arrives, they assemble like pieces of a puzzle, forming structures that can surround invaders, marking them for removal or directly neutralizing them. Think of this as a hidden moat around the castle. Still water, quiet and unseen, but when danger comes, the drawbridge is lifted and the moat becomes a trap that no intruder can escape. And yet, for all its quiet strength, the innate response is not reckless. It is precise. Its role is to contain, to stabilize, to prevent harm from spreading further. It knows its boundaries, and it works not with violence, but with careful balance. You may feel this balance when you notice a small wound healing. At first, warmth, swelling, a little tenderness, but not chaos. The innate defenders arrive, work in silence, and then retreat when their task is complete. The body's harmony is restored, the danger past, and the quiet continues. Pause with me here. Take a slow, gentle breath in, hold for a moment, and breathe out as if letting go of any tension. In this rhythm, imagine the innate defenders moving within you, always aware, always ready, always gentle. There are times, of course, when we notice their work more clearly, like the fever that warms the body during infection. It is the innate response raising the temperature, making it harder for invaders to survive, while signaling to your cells to quicken their repair, or the redness that surrounds a small scratch. That, too, is the innate response, drawing blood and healing factors to sight, like sunlight pouring into a garden after rain. These sensations are not signs of weakness, but of strength. They are reminders that your body is not passive. It is alive, alert, and deeply invested in your survival. What is most calming to remember is that this system is ancient. It has been part of life for millions of years, long before humans walked the earth. The innate response exists in creatures large and small, from the simplest of animals to the complexity of your own body. It is nature's oldest promise of protection, and when you feel it working, you are feeling the quiet echo of a wisdom older than time. In a way, this makes you part of a greater story. The same innate defenses that protect you tonight protected your ancestors and their ancestors before them. They watched over life as it evolved, adapted, and endured. And now, they watch over you, carrying forward that ancient, unbroken chain of care. So, as we close the second part of our gentle reflection on the innate response, remember, these guardians are not warriors of chaos, but caretakers of harmony. They do not shout, they whisper. They do not destroy, they balance. And always, always, they act in silence so that you may live in peace. Now, let us drift even deeper into the silence of this ancient protection. For the innate immune response is not only about defense, it is also about balance, guidance, and care. Think of it as a teacher. When something unfamiliar appears within the body, the innate system does not hesitate. It recognizes broad patterns, shapes, and signals that suggest danger, like a wise elder who may not know every detail of a story, but can still sense when something is wrong. This recognition is possible because of pattern recognition receptors, tiny sensors within your cells that can detect common features of invaders. They're like the senses of the night watchman, eyes that see movement, ears that hear whispers, instincts that notice what does not belong. They do not need to know the name of the intruder, only that it is unfamiliar, that it carries danger, and that it must be handled. When these receptors are activated, the innate system moves without hesitation. It calls in reinforcements, strengthens barriers, and begins the first steps of healing. There is no confusion, only calm determination. And yet, in this quiet dance of defense, the innate system also prepares a way for future. It is not only the first responder, it is also the messenger, guiding the adaptive immune system to learn, to remember, to grow stronger. In this way, the innate response is like a bridge, a gentle connection between the immediate moment and the long-term memory of your defenses. To understand this better, let us imagine a scene, a village by the sea, where a lighthouse shines its light across the dark waters. The lighthouse does not chase away the storm, but alerts the sailors, guides them, ensures they are not lost. The innate system is like that lighthouse, steady, calm, always watching, always guiding the rest of the immune system to where it must go. And while it does this, it remains deeply protective in its own right. It clears damaged cells, it removes debris, it restores balance. Even without the adaptive system, the innate guardians could protect you, for they are complete within themselves. But together, innate and adaptive, they form a harmony that is truly extraordinary. Pause with me here, if you will. Take another gentle breath in, and as you release it slowly, imagine your innate defenses like a circle of quiet guardians standing around you, holding hands, forming a living shield of care. What makes this system even more remarkable is that it is not born from thought or choice. It is simply who you are. The innate response does not ask for permission. It does not wait for you to notice. It simply acts because your life matters and it must be preserved. This truth is both humbling and soothing. Even in moments when you feel small or tired or fragile, the innate system reminds you that you are never unguarded. It is there when you wake. It is there when you sleep. It is there now in this very breath. Stories of healing remind us of this silent strength. Think of a time when you felt unwell, but soon found yourself recovering. The fever faded, the wound closed, the cough softened. That was your innate response, working quietly, step by step, to bring you back into balance. Or think of the countless times you did not even notice, when dust entered your nose and was gently swept away by tiny cilia, when a droplet landed on your skin but was washed away before it could harm, when a small scrape healed overnight, without effort, without worry. All of these were acts of the innate guardians, performed in silence, never demanding thanks. As you drift closer to rest tonight, let this thought settle warmly within you, that your body is not weak, it is not fragile, it is alive with defenses older than memory, older than history, older than time itself. And these defenses are always awake, even when you are asleep. So let us close this keynote with gratitude. Gratitude for the innate response, this ancient guardian that keeps you safe without noise, without fear, without fail. It whispers instead of shouting. It heals instead of harming. It teaches instead of forgetting. And in that silence, in that stillness, you can rest, knowing that you are held, protected, and cherished by the quiet wisdom within the quiet landscape of your body. There are messages that flow like whispers in the night. They do not travel by voice or by paper or by sound, but instead through the smallest of molecules, drifting from one cell to another. These are the chemical signals of your immune system, the invisible messengers that carry news, warnings, and invitations across the vast community of your body. Imagine, if you will, a village where lanterns are lit to pass along a message. One flame kindles another, and then another, until the whole town glows softly with the same light. Chemical signals behave in much the same way. A single cell may release a signal, which is received by its neighbor, who then echoes that message forward. And soon, the entire body understands what is happening, even if the event began in the smallest of places. These signals are many, but some of the most gentle yet powerful are called cytokines. Cytokines are like tiny notes, slipped from one hand to another, saying, help is needed here, or all is calm now, or even be alert, danger may be near. There are countless kinds of these notes. Some call for warriors, some soothe the wounded, some remind the body when the battle is over. Think for a moment about what this means. Your body does not simply react in chaos. It communicates, it coordinates, it cooperates. No cell stands alone. No defender works without guidance. Instead, through chemical signals, the immune system moves as one, like a quiet orchestra playing a symphony of protection. And just as in music, there are tempos and tones. Some signals are fast and sharp, rushing quickly to the site of need. Others are slow and gentle, lingering, shaping the recovery that follows. Together, they create a rhythm of defense and healing, always tuned to what the body requires. To bring this picture closer, let's imagine a small wound upon your skin. The first cells that sense the injury do not fight alone. Instead, they release signals, chemical lanterns, if you will, that summon help from far and near. Soon, other cells arrive, guided by those signals, knowing exactly where to go and what to do. Without the messages, the help might never come. But because of them, the body responds swiftly, gracefully, silently. There's a beauty in this unseen conversation. We do not hear it with our ears, but if we could, perhaps it would sound like a soft chorus in the distance, rising when danger appears, softening when calm returns, fading gently when peace is restored. These signals do not only move during moments of threat, they are present always, maintaining balance, reminding each cell of its role, ensuring harmony in the quiet community of the body. When you are resting, sleeping, even dreaming, the signals continue their flow like soft currents beneath still waters. Pause with me here. Take a breath in and release it slowly. As you do, imagine those currents, those invisible notes, drifting across your body, carrying calm, carrying care, carrying connection, binding every part of you into one whole, united in peace. And just as messages can inspire trust in the community, so too can these signals inspire safety in your body. They are not random. They are thoughtful, precise, and deeply intentional. Like a gentle hand on your shoulder, they remind your cells of what must be done and reassure them that they are not alone. We might think of these signals as whispers of wisdom. They are quiet, yet profound. They remind us that great strength often comes, not from loudness, but from subtle guidance. A single signal may be small, but together they shape the vast story of your health and protection. If you listen closely, not with your ears, but with your imagination, you might almost sense the language of your cells. It is not spoken in words nor written in letters, but carried gently through molecules, passed along in silence. These are the chemical signals, guiding, shaping, and uniting the immune system in its quiet watch. Among these signals, some are called chemokines. If cytokines are the notes that describe what is happening, chemokines are the maps, the guiding stars. They direct immune cells, showing them where to travel, like markers on a hidden path. When danger arises in a distant part of the body, chemokines spread outward, calling the defenders, pointing the way. A wandering immune cell may drift aimlessly until it senses a chemokine, and then, as if hearing its name, it follows faithfully toward the place it is needed. Imagine you are walking in a quiet forest at night. The path is dim, but in the distance, lanterns glow softly, marking the way. Step by step, you follow those lights, and soon you arrive safely at your destination. This is what chemokines do, lanterns in the dark forest of the body, leading its guardians to where they are needed most. But these chemical messengers are not only guides, they are also caretakers. Some soothe inflammation when it has served its purpose. Some encourage new cells to grow, replacing the ones that were lost. Some invite peaceful resolution, reminding the body that the storm has passed. In this way, the signals are not only about battle, they are also about healing, rebuilding, and peace. Take another breath here, and with the gentle rhythm of your breathing, imagine signals flowing quietly, like streams of light weaving through your body. Each one has a purpose. Each one has a meaning. Each one keeps you whole. There are times when these signals grow strong, such as when an infection must be cleared. The body must act quickly, decisively, and so the messengers spread in waves, calling for urgency. But there are also times when they soften, when they quiet themselves, when they act as gentle reminders rather than urgent cries. This shifting balance is the secret of their wisdom, for too much signal can bring chaos, but the right amount brings harmony. Let's think of a simple story, a small cut on the finger. At first, the cells of the wound release signals. We are hurt, come quickly. White blood cells respond, rushing to the site, guided by chemokines. Cytokines call for reinforcements, shaping the defense. Then as the cut begins to close, the signals change. The danger is past, begin to heal. And soon, the swelling fades, the redness softens, the tissue restores itself. All of it guided by these invisible messages, speaking in silence, speaking in care. The beauty of these signals is not only in their action, but in their timing. Like a conductor leading an orchestra, they raise their hands to begin, they lower them when it is time to end. The instruments, your cells, play in perfect harmony, not because they know every note on their own, but because they are guided moment by moment by the signals that connect them all. There is something profoundly peaceful in knowing that beneath your awareness, this communication never ceases. Even now, as you rest, the signals move softly within you. They do not sleep. They do not falter. They continue to whisper their messages of protection, connection, and healing. Pause with me here. Let your eyes grow heavy if they wish. Let your breath flow slowly, like a stream winding through a quiet valley. And as you rest, imagine that stream carrying countless gentle messages, each one reminding your body that it is cared for, that it is safe, that it is whole. The chemical signals of your immune system are not loud, not fierce, not frightening. They are soft, subtle, and constant, like the stars that guide travelers across the night sky. They shine silently, and yet without them, the journey could not be made. The deeper we look into the immune system's quiet work, the more we see that its strength lies not only in its warriors, but in its messengers. These chemical signals are the hidden language of life, written not with ink, but with molecules, spoken not with voices, but with presence. Think of interferons, for example. These are special signals, released when a cell senses that a virus has entered. The cell cannot always save itself, but can send a message to its neighbors. Be alert, prepare yourselves, a threat is near. And so, even before the virus is spread, nearby cells strengthen their defenses, like villagers locking their doors when one home senses danger. The first cell may fall, but its signal saves many others. This is a quiet courage of chemical messages. They sacrifice, they warn, they protect. Another family of signals, called growth factors, remind us that defense is not only about fighting. It is also about rebuilding. After the storm of infection has passed, growth factors encourage tissues to repair, blood vessels to form, and new strength to grow. It is as if, after a storm, hands appear to rebuild the houses, plant the gardens, and restore the peace. And then there are signals of calm, signals that whisper, "All is well now, you may rest." These are perhaps the most important of all, for without them, the body might remain in a constant state of alarm. Imagine living in a village where the alarm bell never stopped ringing. Even after the danger had passed, the sound would keep everyone anxious, unsettled, weary. In the body, these calming signals silence the bells, allowing peace to return, balance to settle, and healing to begin. As you breathe gently now, imagine that same calm being spoken within you. Messages of safety, of harmony, of release, filling your body with stillness, reminding every part of you that it is safe to let go, safe to rest, safe to heal. One of the most remarkable things about these chemical signals is that they are not made by one single organ or one single commander. They are made by many kinds of cells, immune cells, skin cells, even the lining of your gut. Every part of the body has a voice, and every voice matters. It is not a single song, but a chorus, countless notes blending together to create harmony. And yet, like all music, harmony depends on balance. Too much of one note, too little of another, and the song may turn harsh. This is why the immune system is not only about strength, it is about wisdom, about balance, about timing. Signals rise when they are needed and fade when their purpose is fulfilled. In this way, the system protects without overwhelming, heals without harming, acts without chaos. Imagine if we could see these signals as light. Perhaps they would appear as glowing threads, weaving between cells, pulsing gently with information. At times, the threads would brighten, glowing urgently to call for help. At other times, they would dim, soft and subtle, maintaining quiet order, always weaving, always glowing, always there. This is what is happening in you, even now. Your cells are not silent. They are speaking in a language of molecules, guiding, protecting, caring. And though you cannot hear them, their work is constant, patient, and faithful. Let this thought be a comfort. Even when you rest, your body does not forget you. Even in your deepest sleep, the signals continue to flow, ensuring that you are safe, whole, and quietly protected. Pause once more with me. Breathe in, feeling the quiet energy of those signals, and breathe out, letting yourself sink deeper into calm. Imagine your body as a vast community, lit by lanterns, connected by glowing threads, guided by countless gentle voices, all working together in silence, all watching over you in peace. The chemical signals of your immune system remind us of something deeply human, that we, too, communicate not only with words, but with presence, with gestures, with silence, with care. Sometimes the quietest message is the most powerful. Sometimes the smallest whisper carries the greatest truth. And so, as you drift toward rest, you may carry with you this gentle thought, that within you, countless signals are moving, not to trouble you, but to protect you, not keep you awake, but to let you sleep knowing you are cared for. They are the silent messengers, the unseen guardians, the calm whispers of life itself. As we continue our quiet journey through the immune system, we now arrive at a chapter that feels almost like a story of memory, of wisdom, and of learning. It is called the adaptive system. Unlike the body's first defenses, which act the same way against nearly every invader, the adaptive system is more personal, more precise. It learns, it remembers, and in its remembering, it creates a shield that grows stronger with time. Think of it as a teacher sitting patiently in a classroom filled with attentive students. Each day, The teacher introduces a new lesson, and slowly, the students understand more and more. The immune system, too, is always learning, always teaching itself about the world it encounters. At the very heart of this system are two kinds of white blood cells, called B cells and T cells. B cells are like artists, painting new tools called antibodies, each designed to recognize a very specific invader. T cells are like scouts and guardians. Some of them search for infected cells and destroy them, while others coordinate, guiding the entire defense like conductors of a symphony. Together, they create a harmony of protection, where every part knows its role. What makes the adaptive system so extraordinary is its ability to remember. Once it meets a new intruder, it does not easily forget. The next time that same invader tries to return, the system is faster, stronger, and more efficient in its response. This is why childhood illnesses often do not return, and why vaccines work. They give the immune system a safe memory, a rehearsal before the real danger arrives. You might imagine this memory as a vast library, filled with books. Each book contains a story of an encounter, the details of a virus, a bacterium, or some other intruder. Once a book is written, it is placed gently on the shelf, where it will remain, ready to be opened again if needed. The more books a library holds, the wiser the system becomes. It is fascinating to realize that your body carries within it a library of its own life story. Every cold you've endured, every fever you've overcome, every tiny battle fought silently in your tissues. It is all written, remembered, and kept for you. This library does not weigh you down. Instead, it strengthens you, makes you resilient, prepares you for the future. Now imagine drifting into a gentle dream where you walk through this library. The shelves stretch endlessly, each filled with quiet records of victories past. You see titles written in soft golden letters. The winter cold of childhood, the summer fever that passed, the small cut that healed. Each title a reminder, not of suffering, but of survival. A reminder of how your body has always stood by you, always carried you forward. The adaptive system is not quick in its learning. It takes time. When a new threat first arrives, it may stumble. It may take days to write its story, to create its response. But once it learns, it never forgets. There is patience here, quiet perseverance, and a gentle assurance that wisdom grows with every experience. This patience is important because life, too, often asks us to wait, to endure, to allow time to bring understanding. Just as the adaptive system requires days to master its lesson, we, too, must give ourselves grace to grow slowly, to learn steadily, to trust the quiet unfolding of time. Pause with me here. Take a slow breath in and out, and imagine your own inner library being built, page by page, book by book, through all the days of your life. It is not a burden, but a gift, a collection of strength that only grows richer with time. The adaptive immune system is one of nature's most elegant creations. It does not rush. It does not panic. It learns, remembers, and carries forward its wisdom. And in its silence, it offers you protection that deepens with each passing year. The adaptive system is often described as the body's most intelligent defender. For while the innate system is quick, simple, and strong, the adaptive system is thoughtful, patient, and precise. To understand its beauty, imagine an artist and an architect working side by side. The artist sketches new designs with creativity and flair, while the architect measures carefully, ensuring every detail fits perfectly. The adaptive system does something very similar, crafting unique responses while maintaining balance and order. Let us look a little more closely at its guardians, the T cells and B cells. T cells, shaped in the thymus, are like travelers who take different paths. Some become helper T cells. Their role is not to fight directly, but to guide others, whispering instructions, coordinating the defense, so every cell acts in harmony. Others become killer T cells. They move silently through tissues, seeking out cells already overtaken by viruses, and then gently but firmly ending their struggle, so the infection cannot spread further. And then there are regulatory T cells, the peacemakers. They arrive after the storm, calming the other cells, reminding them that the danger is past, urging them to return to rest. Without these peacemakers, the system might go on fighting endlessly, harming the very body it seeks to protect. B cells, in contrast, are more like builders. They craft antibodies, each one a tool shaped to fit a specific invader. Imagine a craftsman carving a key for a single lock. Once it is made, that key will always fit. When a B cell encounters something new, it experiments, trying different shapes until it finds a perfect fit. Then, it produces countless copies of that key, releasing them into the bloodstream, where they float quietly, always ready. This careful work takes time. The adaptive system does not rush, because precision requires patience. And yet, its patience is rewarded. For the next time the same intruder returns, the antibodies are already there, waiting, like keys already cut, like locks already open. Think of a child learning to tie their shoes. At first, the fingers fumble, the loops are uneven, the knot falls apart. But with practice, the hands remember the steps. Soon, the movement becomes natural, effortless, and lasting. The adaptive system is much the same, slow at first, but then forever prepared. Another image might help us drift deeper. Imagine a meadow after a summer storm. The rain has passed, and in its wake, the soil is richer, the flowers more vibrant, the air clearer. The storm was not wasted. It left behind something lasting, something that strengthens a meadow for seasons to come. Every encounter of the adaptive immune system leaves such a gift: strengthened defenses, deeper wisdom, greater readiness. There is also something deeply reassuring in knowing that your immune system does not forget you. It remembers your life, your challenges, your recoveries, not in conscious thought, but in its own quiet language of memory. Even as you rest now, the cells of the adaptive system are carrying those lessons forward, watching silently, guarding you with the wisdom of your past. This reminds us of a gentle truth, that growth comes not from avoiding all difficulty, but from moving through it and carrying the lessons onward. Your body understands this. It has always understood. Every challenge has left you stronger. Every trial has given you resilience. Every storm has given you a clearer sky. Take another deep, slow breath here. Let the air drift in and out like the tide moving across a quiet shore. And as you breathe, imagine your adaptive system like a calm, steady companion, keeping watch through every season of your life. The adaptive immune system is a story of patience, precision, and memory. It reminds us that even in silence, great wisdom is being written within us. It reminds us that time is not the enemy, but a gentle teacher, guiding us toward deeper understanding, deeper strength, deeper peace. The adaptive immune system is like a quiet guardian who not only protects you today, but also prepares for tomorrow. It learns from every encounter, gently storing knowledge, so that the next time danger rises, it will be ready, faster, and wiser. One of the most extraordinary aspects of this system is its memory. Not memory like the names and faces we recall in our daily lives, but a biological memory held deep in the language of cells. When a B cell or T cell first meets an invader, a small number of them transform into memory cells. These memory cells linger in the body for years, sometimes for a lifetime, holding the story of that encounter. They act like a diary of the immune system, pages filled with experiences, quietly waiting to be read again. This is why illnesses like measles or chickenpox usually happen only once. The first meeting may be long and tiring, but the memory remains, so the body is never surprised again. Vaccines work in the same way, like showing the immune system a picture of an intruder, letting it study the image carefully. So when the real intruder arrives, it is already known, already marked. You might imagine this process as a great lantern glowing in the darkness. The first time, the lantern is dim, flickering uncertainly, but as the system learns, the lantern grows brighter, steadier, illuminating the path forward, ensuring that future dangers can be seen long before they approach. This memory does more than protect. It gives comfort. Your body is not wandering blindly through an endless maze of threats. It carries within it a map, one that grows more detailed with every passing year. The longer you live, the richer your map becomes, the stronger your shield, the more resilient your life. And yet, the adaptive system also reminds us of balance. If it remembers too sharply, it can mistake harmless things for enemies. This is what happens in allergies, when pollen or dust is treated as a dangerous invader. The memory is strong but misplaced, and the response, though well-meaning, causes discomfort. It is a reminder that even wisdom can be imperfect, and that harmony, not excess, is a true goal of health. Think of this harmony like music. Every cell is an instrument, every signal a note, every response a melody. When all are tuned and balanced, the song is gentle, flowing, and beautiful. When a few play too loudly, the song becomes harsh and tiring. The adaptive system works tirelessly to keep the music soft, balanced, and in rhythm with life. Now let us drift into a small story. Imagine a child walking through a forest with their parent. At first, the child does not know which berries are safe, which plants may sting, which paths may twist into shadows. The parent points him out gently, teaching, guiding, protecting. With each lesson, the child remembers, and with time, they walk with more confidence, more freedom. The adaptive system is that gentle parent within you, teaching your body what is safe, what is harmful, what is to be remembered for the future. This system, though invisible, plays one of the most important roles in your well-being. It is the reason we survive childhood illnesses, the reason small wounds heal without lasting harm, the reason our bodies adapt to the countless changes the world brings. Pause with me here. Take a slow, deep breath in and out, and as you breathe, imagine your adaptive system as a gentle library of memory, a glowing lantern of guidance, a symphony of balance, and a teacher that never leaves your side. The adaptive system is not loud. It does not shout or clamor for attention. It works in silence, in patience, in wisdom, always learning, always remembering, always keeping you safe. And so, as you rest tonight, your adaptive system continues its quiet work, carrying the lessons of your past, preparing the strength of your future, and reminding you that even in silence, you are never unguarded. There is something profoundly mysterious about sleep. Every evening, as daylight softens into dusk, our bodies seem to give a gentle signal. It is time to let go, to drift, to heal. We close our eyes. The world fades from our awareness. And yet, deep inside, our immune system awakens to one of its most important tasks. It may feel as though sleep is simply a pause in life, a temporary retreat from the noise of the day. But in truth, it is an active, vital process, one in which the immune system performs its quiet magic. like a gardener tending a midnight garden. Sleep allows the immune cells to repair, to strengthen, to coordinate with each other in ways that daytime activity cannot. Think of your body as a vast library of information. During the day, countless books are opened and read. Every sound, every sight, every action adds another page to the story. But at night, when you close your eyes, the library doors gently shut and the librarians begin to sort, to repair, to reorganize. They mend torn pages, return books to their shelves, and ensure that tomorrow begins with clarity and order. Your immune system is part of this quiet library work, carefully reviewing the books of your body, checking for errors, correcting them, and preparing you for another day of living. Science has shown us that certain immune cells, such as T cells, are more active during sleep. At night, adhesion molecules appear on their surface, making it easier for them to bind to their targets. It is as though the darkness itself helps them hold more firmly to their mission, strengthening the bond between defender and invader. This means that while you rest, your body is not idle. It is quietly sharpening its defenses. There is also a deeper rhythm at play. Your immune system, like so many processes in your body, follows a circadian clock. During the day, it remains alert but reserved, conserving energy for your daily tasks. At night, it shifts its focus inward, using the stillness of sleep to heal and restore. It is a rhythm as old as life itself, a pattern written into your very cells, like the rising and setting of the sun. You might picture this like a small village in the day. The villagers are busy with markets, with travel, with the endless movement of living. But at night, when the streets grow quiet, the caretakers emerge. They mend the fences, sweep the paths, water the plants, and light small lanterns to prepare for the morning. Your immune system does this same quiet work each night, caring for the village of your body. And so, when you rest, you are not simply escaping the world. You are giving your immune system the gift of time. Time to rebuild. Time to repair. Time to strengthen. Tonight, as you breathe slowly, as your eyelids grow heavy, remember this. Every moment of your sleep is a gift of healing, a time when your body is silently guarded, deeply restored, and tenderly renewed. As night deepens, your body drifts through stages of sleep, each one with its own secret gift for the immune system. Light sleep begins softly, like the first steps into a quiet forest. Then comes deeper sleep, slow wave sleep, when the brain hums with slow rhythms and the body surrenders to profound stillness. And later, in the dream-rich stage called REM sleep, another kind of healing quietly unfolds. In deep, slow wave sleep, your body releases growth hormone. This hormone is like a gentle repairer, stitching tissues, mending cells, encouraging the immune system to replenish its energy. It is a time when the body's defenses are not distracted by movement or thought, but are free to focus on repair. Imagine a village at midnight, where lanterns glow in workshops, where quiet hands mend what was worn during the day. That is what your immune system is doing for you in the hush of deep sleep. And then REM sleep arrives. Here, your mind creates dreams, sometimes vivid, sometimes fleeting. While dreams dance across the imagination, your immune system also benefits. Stress hormones such as cortisol dip lower in the night, giving space for immune cells to strengthen their signals. Inflammation, when balanced, is calmed and adjusted. It is as if the body whispers, "Now let us restore harmony." Scientists have found that when people are deprived of sleep, their immune response falters. Vaccines become less effective, healing slows, colds and infections gain easier ground. But when sleep is restored, the body's defenses rise again like the steady tide. Sleep, then, is not simply rest. It is medicine, a natural, nightly treatment that renews your inner guardians. There's also something delicate about how sleep weaves with memory. During deep rest, the immune system strengthens its memory cells, the very ones that recall past invaders. It is like a student studying by candlelight, copying lessons carefully into long-term memory. Your immune system is studying too, ensuring that tomorrow it will remember what is learned today. You might imagine this as a gentle conversation between body and mind. The brain drifts through dreams, sorting experiences, weaving stories. The immune system listens too, taking notes, preparing for the unseen challenges of days to come. Together, mind and immunity collaborate in the stillness, weaving strength out of silence. And so, sleep becomes a bridge between the mind's healing and the body's defense. Each breath you take at night carries you across this bridge, from weariness to renewal, from vulnerability to strength. You do not need to will it or direct it. All you need to do is surrender to the quiet rhythm of night, and your body will do the rest. So tonight, as you settle deeper into rest, you might imagine your body as a vast night garden. Immune cells are like small caretakers walking the paths with lanterns, pruning, mending, nurturing. Dreams drift overhead like soft clouds. And in the stillness, all of you, body and mind, grow strong again. As we come to the final part of our exploration, we see that rest and sleep are not simply pauses in life, but essential guardians of health. Without them, the immune system becomes like a tired sentinel, struggling to hold its shield. With them, it is like a calm, steady watchman, alert, prepared, and quietly strong. When you allow yourself to sleep, you are not being idle. You are granting your immune system the very fuel it needs to keep you safe. Every soft breath in the night, every slow heartbeat, every gentle rhythm of rest is like nourishment to your body's defenders. It is a gift that you give to yourself, a form of self-care written in nature's design. There is also a balance here. Too little sleep weakens immunity. Too much sleep can signal imbalance. But when rest flows in harmony, when you drift naturally into the night and awaken with the soft light of morning, your body finds its rhythm. That rhythm is the music of health, guiding not only immunity but every system in your being. Picture, for a moment, the immune system as a choir. By day, it hums quietly in the background, conserving energy while you move, think, and live. But at night, during sleep, the choir practices together in perfect harmony. The voices align, the rhythm steadies, and the music of defense grows stronger. When you awaken, the choir is ready, tuned, and prepared to face the day's challenges. And so, we discover that silence itself is not emptiness. It is presence. It is healing. It is the space in which the immune system does its most delicate and beautiful work. Tonight, as you rest, let your mind ease into that silence. Let your body feel held by the quiet rhythm of breath. Trust that your immune system is awake in ways you cannot see, weaving threads of healing, protecting, remembering. Even as you dream, even as you drift, your body is cared for moment by moment, heartbeat by heartbeat. And so, we close this journey together. We have wandered through the silent guardians, through the first lines of defense, through the adaptive memory of immunity, and finally into the gentle truth. That rest is itself a healer. May you carry this understanding like a soft lantern, guiding you whenever the night feels long. As you drift now, may you feel comforted. May you feel safe. May your body rest deeply, and may your immune system work gently, silently in your favor. Good night, dear listener. Goodbye for now. Sleep well, sleep deeply, sleep in peace.